Count is 1-2 now. Oh, and a good curveball that time as it's taken for a called strike 3, and there are 2 away.
Batting third.
So digging in now, Mike Trout. First cuts for him here with the bases open and 2 away. Odorizzi looks in. Here it comes. A swing and a drive to center field. That one's got a chance. A ball that's carrying. And he makes a nice catch on the track as that ends the inning. All set for the start of the inning, and that'll bring in Jorge Polanco to hit next.
Jorge Polanco.
Now here it comes. Went about halfway there, but it's a called strike regardless. And he fouls this one off. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Slider. Ooh, thought he had him, but it's 1-2. Swing and a miss on the fastball, and that's the first out. At the plate, Miguel Sano. He'll get to take his first cuts here.
Miguel Sano.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. No score here as we play inning number 2. Got him out at his front foot. It's 0-2. He'll try to hold back, but he won't be able to as that's ruled a swing, and there are 2 away now. Now at the plate, Eddie Rosario. First 2 men in the inning have both gone down via the punch-out, so we'll see if he can fare any better. Just gets a piece of it. Strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Good fastball as he gets the swing and a miss.
Down 0-2. Maybe simplify the game plan right here. Get on the heater, even though he has 5 weapons to go to.
Popped him up. Oh, he brought it back. Bottom of the inning now, and standing in is the veteran third baseman, Anthony Rendon.
The third baseman, Anthony Rendon.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss as he was way in front of that one.
Now you could tell right there that curveball had some serious depth to it. That's what separates the good ones from the bad ones. That nasty spin rate, get that downward action. You even get a star player like this swinging at something in the dirt.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the cut fastball. 1-2. Lifted in the air to center field. Center fielder giving chase, but he can't make the play as it finds the outfield grass.
Batting fifth, the catcher, Jason Castro.
Jason Castro, the catcher, is in, and he's a bit tardy there on the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Yanked high and deep down the line in right. And it's a foul ball. Rendon gets his lead at first, nobody out. Now he gets the ground ball to first. This might be 2. While the throw pulls him off the bag. throw, and he's called out on a close play at first. Coming to the plate now, Justin Upton. And he could give his guys an early lead if he can come through here. First pitch coming. Here it is. Fouled off. Bottom of the second here with no score. Donaldson's up with it. And there are 2 away now. Striding in, Matt Theis. Opportunity for him here to pick up that runner from second with 2 away. Odorizzi comes set. Here's the first pitch. Fooled him with that one as he's way out in front. Swing and a miss, and he's in trouble now. 0-2.
This pitcher's bringing it with some high velo. You better get that front foot down early and get ready, or he's going to throw it right by you.
And he misses there. 1-2.
Boy, that was an awfully close pitch right there. I know if I'm on the mound, I want that pitch called a strike. That's one of those that could go either way.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss at a big breaking ball, and that's how the inning comes to an end. In now, Mitch Garver. He'll stand in to open things up here in the third.
The catcher, number 8, Mitch Garver.
Here comes the first pitch. The windup and the 0-1. High in the air out to center field. And he reaches up to track this one down for the first out, and he had to go a long way to get to that ball. Now in the box, Jake Cave, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Pitch on the way.
Nope, outside.
That's wide. 2-0. Ripped on the ground to first. And he'll step on first himself for the out. So that'll bring in Byron Buxton. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Squares with 2 outs and gets it down. And the throw is too late. He's on with a beautifully placed bunt single.
The batter, number 2, second baseman, Luis Arias.
So now to the plate, Luis Arias, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. Fouled away. Third inning, no score to this point. And there he goes towards second. Pitch is high. The throw way late, and he's in there easily at second. Here's the 1-2. And the runner's breaking for third. Down the first baseline. A 1-2 pitch. Lifted down the line in left. And the stolen base winds up as a moot point as the inning is over. Digging in, Charlie Culberson, as we move on to the bottom of inning number 3.
The shortstop, Charlie Culberson.
Here it comes. Splitter swung on and missed. 0-1. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball. Angels shortstop behind in the count at 1-2 strikes. And he'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Pulled high in the air out to left field. Rosario is there. And that's the first out of the inning. Digging in, Brian Goodwin.
Brian Goodwin.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Swing and a miss, and he's behind 0-1. Hit sharply but foul down the right side. Bottom of inning number 3, 0-0 our score. Well above the letters with the fastball that time.
Pretty standard fastball right there, 0-2. Now he's changed the eye level of the batter so he can start working something in like an off-speed curveball down in the zone.
Nope.
And 2-2.
He's up in the zone a lot right now. Sometimes that can be effective, but I think you have to be careful with that, especially during a day game where the ball tends to carry a lot more.
Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Angels center fielder.
Boy, went from being in the driver's seat to now being in some trouble. Had the count 0-2, started nipping at the corners, and next thing you know, this count stands at 3-2.
Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact. High in the air down the right field line. And foul. Another full count pitch home. Popped him up. Therefore it is Donaldson, and there are 2 away now. Back to the top of the order now, and that'll bring in Tommy La Stella to bat next. Odorizzi gets the sign. Here's the first pitch.
Ball, that's outside.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And there's a base hit on a line. The relay not in time, and he's in there with a double.
Up next for the Angels, the designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani digging in next, as the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. 0 for 1 here in the early going. The 0-1 offering. Swing and a miss, and he's in control. 0-2.
Just don't understand the game plan right here. Walking up to home plate, you had to think you could potentially be pitched around. But now you find yourself down 0-2, and it's a battle.
Hit out towards second. And nothing will come of the 2-out double as the inning is over. Ready for another chance? Max Kepler. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far.
This game is rolling right along as we move into the middle innings with no score. You'd think by now one of these 2 teams would be able to get some base runners on and get them in, but that hasn't been the case. First pitch on its way.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. Well, if you love pitching and defense, this has been a game for you. Are you happy with that, Dan?
I think this continues for a while, Matt. Both of these pitchers are throwing very well, throwing strikes, having good command of their off-speed pitches. This is going to be one of those low-scoring affairs.
And it's fouled away.
Hey, that fastball caught too much of the plate on an 0-2 count.
Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Upton's under it. He's got it 1 away. Leadoff man gone, and that'll bring in the third baseman, Josh Donaldson. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Lays off 1-0.
That's a good take on a fastball out of the zone. Hey, I get it. He's looking for a ball to drive, but that ball was a little bit too far up in the zone. That's one you normally pop right up.
Popped him up. La Stella ranging into shallow right. He gets there, and that's the second out. Digging in now, Jorge Polanco. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one. And we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
1 ball, no strikes the count. Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. Pulled toward right center field. And this is into the alley and ought to be good for extra bases.
The first baseman, number 22, Miguel Sano.
So the big bat of Miguel Sano digs in next as he'll get out ahead of a changeup and swing through it for strike 1. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. And he pumps the fastball by him at 94. It's 0-2. Hit sharply toward the right side. Goodwin is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and standing in the ever-dangerous Mike Trout. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch.
Nope. That's inside.
Now the 1-0.
Oh, that's out.
Talk about certain guys in the lineup that you want to be really careful with. This guy right here is one of those, and you can tell he's pitching awfully cautiously.
Too tight with that one. 3-0.
To be honest with you, I'm a little bit more afraid of the guy on deck than the guy that's up right now. If I'm on the mound, I want this guy up right now. He's the guy that's got to beat me.
Taking all the way, it's 3-1 now. And it's up to a 3-2 full count now.
Hey, excellent job to get yourself back in this count after throwing 3 consecutive balls. You got a chance to get an out right here.
This is line to left. Rosario has him played perfectly as he puts it away for round number 1. So the bases are empty with 1 man gone. And that'll bring up Anthony Rendon. And he'll step off and try again. Here comes the first pitch. Starts him out with a cutter, and he gets him to swing through it. 1 strike. Late decision to swing that time, and as a result, it's 0-2. Not close with that one. It's way above the strike zone. Pitching has the upper hand early as we're scoreless in inning number 4. And a splitter swung on and missed that time, and that'll be out number 2. And now for the Angels, Jason Castro. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. First pitch of the at-bat.
Ball inside.
Hit fairly well out towards straightaway center. Chasing after it is Rosario. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. Now batting, Eddie Rosario. He'll start off the 5th in this one.
The left fielder, number 20, Eddie Rosario.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch.
Ball left field.
The 1-0.
Outside. That's the
You
ball.
never want to fall behind as a pitcher, but doing it to a guy like this is even worse. He's got to bear down and execute for the rest of this at-bat, starting right now.
They haven't played perfectly as it's hit on the ground. And he'll step on first for the out, 3 unassisted. Riding in once again, Mitch Garver. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far.
Almost, Matty. Almost went deep his last AB. Certainly just missed it. With this guy's big power, he's feeling pretty good at the dish. Look for him to try and get on something and drive it out of the yard this AB.
Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
Man, this guy's really pitched well so far, attacking the strike zone, and he's really kept these hitters off balance.
Hit hard to short. And very quickly there, they're 2 gone to start the inning. To the plate now is the designated hitter, Jake Cave. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. No balls and a strike to count. 2 out, nobody on. Again, another foul ball. And he'll step out and ask for time. Maybe trying to get this pitcher out of the rhythm he's in right now. The pitch. Hard hit to first. He's got it. And the off-balance throw gets him as he takes away a hit, and the side is retired. Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and next to bat will be the outfielder, Justin Upton.
The left fielder, Justin Upton.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. A ball and no strikes. Now this is sprayed foul off to the left, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Here's the pitch. And he lays off the breaking ball there as he moves ahead to 2-1.
Hey, curveball that kind of backed up on him right there. Might have popped out of his hand just a little bit earlier than he intended.
To 2-2 now.
2-2.
This one sinks low and a touch outside. It's a full count, 3-2. Matt Thaiss waits on deck. Slapped hard the opposite way. Kepler is there, and he'll bring this one in. Settling in now, Matt Thaiss looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat.
Yeah, he's got to put that one behind him, especially with runners in scoring position. Those punch-outs will stick with you a little longer.
That hits the outside corner. It's strike one. And he fouls this one off. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's outside, quite a bit off the plate that time. The 1-2. Popped up. Donaldson over to his right. 2 gone. So striding in, Charlie Culberson. So far 0 for 1 with a flyout. Odorizzi steps into his windup. Here comes the first pitch. And that's cut on and missed. 0-1.
Man, this guy's been incredibly efficient so far in this one, mostly because he's getting ahead. 70% of the batters he's faced, he's thrown the first pitch, strike 2.
Swing and a miss, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1.
That's a great job of holding up right there. You have 2 strikes on you. You're trying to protect the plate. It's difficult to not get super aggressive at the plate.
Swing and a hard liner to center field. That's his first base hit, making 1 for 2 now.
Now batting, right fielder, Brian Goodwin.
Next batter to the plate, Brian Goodwin, as he comes up empty on a pitch right down the middle for strike 1. He popped out in his first trip. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
Go to that well one more time. He's been late on the first 2.
Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And here's a fastball on 0-2, but it misses. 1-2 now.
Stone cold take right there. That fastball very well could have sent him packing back to the bench.
Pulled hard, but it's foul down the first base side. The 1-2. Both clubs with 3 hits in the ballgame. The 1-2. Fouled off. High and deep to right center. A ball that's carrying. On the warning track, he makes the catch. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and that'll bring up the speedy outfielder Byron Buxton. Third baseman in tight, protecting the bunt. The first pitch. Hit high and deep to straightaway right field. Going back is the right fielder. Gone to lead off the inning.
The batter, the second baseman,
In now, Luis Arias. As he's well in front of the curveball and comes up empty there for strike 1. He's working on a 1 for 2 game so far. Strike 2 as the fastball is let go. Base is empty here with nobody out. Skied into straightaway right. Waiting on it is Goodwin. 1 away. Ready once again, Max Kepler. He flew out in his last at-bat. First delivery to him on the way.
Ball, that's out.
The 1-0. Hit hard on the ground at first. Throw gets him, 2 down. Josh Donaldson digging in now. It was a flyout for him in his last trip. First pitch on its way. Drilled right back up the middle, and the inning will continue as that's through for a 2-out hit.
The batter, the shortstop, Jorge Polanco.
Into the box now, Jorge Polanco, as he'll take a look at ball 1. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. And this one's in the dirt. And he'll make it into scoring position here with 2 away, as that'll be scored a wild pitch. Fouled away. And now before the 1-2, time is called at home plate. 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors in the ball game for Minnesota. Tough curveball that time, but he's able to make a little contact to keep this at-bat going. Counts even, 2-2 for Polanco.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
And it's fouled away. Two and two. Here it is. Runner breaks for third. Had to sit back on the changeup, and he did a good job to get the bat on that one. The 2-2. Pulled toward right center field. Goodwin's in pursuit. He tracks it down, and that will end the inning. So the batting order turns over now and set to go. Tommy La Stella, 1 for 2 with a double on his line thus far.
Tommy La Stella.
First pitch of the at-bat. Grounded up the first baseline, but a foul ball here, 0-1. Here's the pitch. Down and away, ball 1. Grounded to the right. The tag, and he is out. Next up, the two-way Japanese import, Shohei Ohtani. He was a ground-out victim last time up. First pitch coming. Here it is. That's lifted the other way out to left. On the move is Rosario. He gets there and makes the play for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring Mike Trout to the dish. He has flied and lined out in 2 trips in this one. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. And that misses for ball 1. Counts even to Trout, 1-1.
I know that fastball registered at about 92, 93, but I guarantee you it looked about 4 to 5 miles an hour faster than that for this offensive player. After coming off a curveball, the old push the throttle and pull it is being used.
The 1-2.
Ball, that pitch is up.
No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Angels so far. Lifted down the line in left, and that will end up a foul ball. He stays alive, still 2-2. Odorizzi looks in. Here's the pitch. And he lays off, so it's full now, 3-2.
What we're seeing here is a really smart at bat. They got to be thinking the man on the mound is getting a little short on gas, so when you go up there and make him throw a bunch of pitches, you're more likely to get a good pitch to hit or at least force him out of the game.
Sent on the ground, but right into the shift. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. 7th inning ready to roll, and next to bat will be the first baseman, Miguel. Sano.
The first baseman, number 22, Miguel Sano.
And now pitch on the way.
Hey.
Curveball, swing and a miss, and he's behind in the count 0-2. On a swing and a miss, and that wasn't exactly the most convincing at-bat of the afternoon as he's gone on 3 pitches, 1 away. First pitch of the at-bat. And he fouls this one off. Bases are empty, 1 man out. In front of the changeup, and he can't keep it fair. 2 strikes on him now. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Nope. Ball 1. The count is 1-2.
Here's a huge swing by Rosario and a deep drive to right field. And out of here. And I mean by plenty. That ball was crushed.
The catcher, number 8, Mitch.
Into the box, Mitch Garver. Grounded sharply, but right at that loaded side of the infield. Throw in time at first for out number 2. Up next for Minnesota, Jake Cave. He was retired via the ground ball last time up. First pitch on its way. High and deep to straightaway right. Looking up is Goodwin. And this one is gone. A home run. At the plate now, Byron Buxton. And he'll promptly send it in the air out to center field. Trout is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3.
For the traditional 7th inning stretch.
And digging in next will be Anthony Rendon. He's 1 for 2 in the ballgame.
Starting to run out of time. They haven't been able to score any runs as we're moving late into this one. A perfect time for this leadoff guy to try to get on base and ignite a rally.
Taylor Rogers comes on to pitch from the bullpen now in an unexpected move. He's their closer, so it's a surprise to see him here in the 7th. Here comes the first pitch. Strike 1 to start the at-bat. Rogers has proven to be a guy that throws strikes coming out of the pen and doesn't walk a lot of batters.
Boyd, every manager and pitching coach, Matty V, they love to bring a guy in that they know one thing. He's going to throw strikes and not beat himself, and this guy is certainly not afraid to attack the strike zone.
Struck him out, so he's set down on strikes for the 2nd time today. So stepping in, Jason Castro. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. First delivery to him on the way. Swing and a little blooper to center. Polanco backs up and takes care of it. 2 away. Justin Upton the next to hit. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Here's the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss on the sinker. 0-1.
Hey, you want someone sometimes to rattle the bat rack, but also the guy on the mound's got to eat too. They're executing their pitches out there. It's going to be tough to score some runs.
Behind 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And a curveball swung on and missed, and a great call there as the inning is over. Now at the plate, Luis Arias. He'll start things out for us here in inning number 8.
Luis Arias.
Ryan Buchter has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th.
Number 46, Ryan Buchter.
He's set and the pitch. Well behind that fastball. It's a swinging strike. Buchter is adjusting to the new normal as MLB now mandates that relievers reach the end of an inning or face 3 or more batters before being replaced. For a one-time lefty specialist like this, that's a big change. And it's quickly 0-2. With this one almost in the books, the story was clearly the long ball. What are your thoughts on this offense, fellas?
Well, Matty V, I don't know what your thoughts are, D-Roll, but boy, when the weather starts to warm up and the ball starts jumping out like this, it's clear that the pitchers need to start making better pitches.
Yeah, just great approach. No one really chased today. Really stayed staunch on their ability to get that pitcher to come into the heart of the plate, and they did damage with it.
Oh, and 1 count and the pitch. Swung on and lifted in the air to left center. And Upton's got this one. 2 away now. Digging in and looking for more, Josh Donaldson. Last time through was a base hit. From the stretch. Late swing there at the breaking ball. Must have been looking for something else. Now time is barked out by the home plate umpire. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Yeah, if he's going to pound the zone with this stuff all game, the offense better step up. Somebody's going to have to pull a trigger a little bit earlier in the count.
Swing and a miss at 1 in the dirt. The throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. Into the box, Matt Thaiss. He struck out and popped out in his 2 previous trips. Albert Pujols will try and get his club back into it here as he'll pinch hit to lead off the home half of the 8th. Heading out towards shallow right. Kepler is there, and a big sigh of relief out on the mound as Pujols is retired on just 1 pitch. Ready for another shot now, Charlie Culberson. He singled his last time up. First pitch coming, here it is.
1-0.
The 1-0 home. Down the left field line and deep. And no one can get there. It's a foul ball. Now the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 2.
That front door slider is a devastating pitch. By the time you realize it's in the zone, it's too late, and you can't even put a good swing on it.
1-2, here it comes. There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. Looking up is Rosario. Gone into the home bullpen for a home run.
Now batting, right fielder, Brian Goodwin.
To the plate now, Brian Goodwin, as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. No hits to this point. And they won't get him to chase the curveball in the dirt that time, and it's 2-0 now.
This inning really feels like it's getting away from him out there. As a reliever, you can't let that happen. Nothing you can do about what's already happened, and it's only going to get worse if you're not focusing on the guy in the batter's box.
Now the 2-1 pitch is strike 2 swinging.
2 balls.
That's just too much velocity upstairs to get good wood on it. It's going to have to lower his sights.
The 2-2 is a swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Tommy La Stella. He was a ground out victim last time up. First pitch of the at-bat. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. 1-1 to Tommy La Stella. Two balls and a strike to the Angels leadoff hitter.
You got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Now the 2-1. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Rosario is there. And that ends the inning. All set to start the 9th in this one, and stepping in is the veteran shortstop, Jorge Polanco.
Jorge Polanco.
Noah Ramirez enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th.
Ramirez.
From the stretch, here's the pitch to first. And he'll take it to the bag himself for the out. Stepping up to the plate, Miguel Sano. He went down on strikes last time up. Adrianza will move into the on-deck circle now to try to get something started here with 1 gone in the inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Basic for Minnesota, number 13, Adrianza.
He'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1. Now a changeup, but it misses just a little below the zone. Strike called, 2-1.
That's the exact spot to lean on as a reliever. As a hitter, you just have to tip your cap and look for the next one.
Oh, right down Main Street with that one, 2-2.
I know to the fans that probably looked like something good to hit. But unless you're sitting breaking ball right there, I don't care if it's middle of the plate. That's a tough pitch.
There's a swing and a ball hit in the air, and a ball that he got every stitch of, as that one, without a doubt, is gone.
The batter, the left fielder, Eddie Rosario.
Stepping in now, Eddie Rosario, as he rips it on the ground to second. And a throw to Pujols is in time for the second out. The next twin up, Mitch Garver. He was retired via the ground ball last time up. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Well out in front of the breaking ball there for a strike. There's strike two as it catches the outside corner. Now time granted here at the plate as he'll step out of the box. Oh, and 2, here it comes. And he struck him out. So a good pitch there, and now they're going to need to string some hits together in this last at-bat if they want to get back in this thing. Tyler Duffy comes on looking for a save here in the bottom of the 9th inning. All set for the bottom of the 9th. And striding forward, the designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
The designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Swung on and missed. It's 0-1.
Well, he kind of tipped his hand right there. His approach is obviously sitting on the off speed because he was so late on that first pitch heater.
Behind 0-2 now. Nope. A ball and 2 strikes now. Bouncer up the middle. And the off-balance throw gets him. Nice play for the out. Here's the center fielder, Mike Trout. He was a ground-out victim last time up. Here's the first pitch to him. Way late on the fastball for strike 1. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
Hey, love the confidence in that pitch right there, going right after one of the better hitters on this team, not afraid to execute.
Now a swing and a bouncing ball for the shortstop, Polanco. On to first, and they're an out away. 2 gone here in the 9th. In now is Anthony Rendon. He comes to the plate as the last chance for his side. 2 out here in the 9th. First delivery to him on the way. Yanked the slider across that time, laid off for a ball. And here's a fastball that's nowhere near the zone. It's 2-0 now.
The last thing you want to do when you've got a 3-run lead in the 9th is give the other guys any sense of hope. It's a good time to challenge here on 2-0.
Taken high and deep to right. Racing back, the right fielder. Gone!
Now batting, catcher, Jason Castro.
At the plate, Jason Castro. Fouled off. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. And now this ball's in the air to deep right field. Kepler's going back. And he tracks it down. And this ball game is over.
Well, that's not exactly how you draw it up. He gave up a long ball to make it interesting, but it was the only run he gave up, and he hangs on to collect the save.
4-2 the final score today. The Twins rode an important 6th inning to victory in this one. Jake Odorizzi is credited with the win. Dylan Bundy takes the loss despite working 7 strong innings. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Now 8-8. The loss goes to Dylan Bundy. He falls to 9-8. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 50 minutes. Our paid attendance at the Big A this afternoon, 45,477. The Angels once again thank you for attending today's game and remind you to please drive home safely.